Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias Castillo and you're watching Garden Porridge. Today's video is going to be an update on all the projects that are going on in the garden right now. So as you know, I have made videos about how to start a nursery bed, how to start container gardening, and how to start your seeds indoors. So I want to do a video right now that shows how all those projects are tying in together. This is my front porch right now, and I am starting to harden off my summer vegetables. So all of these vegetables here have been started from seed indoors. These have dates, so I can tell you exactly when. This is March 7th over here. And a lot of these were starting on the same time frame. So some of them were started a little later. These are 3-7. And some of the stuff back here, like the eggplant, I believe I started even before that. This eggplant was started on February 19th. So you can see the growth of them is pretty nice. And this is a long eggplant, and they do really well in my garden. So I have a ton of those that I'm going to be doing this year. I also have some basil that I started. This is the lettuce leaf basil. It puts out really big basil leaves. And I even have a tomatillo here who is probably too big and is already flowering. Can you believe that? So these are ready to go into the ground soon enough here. My last frost is going to be, it's supposed to be April 15th, which is today, but I'm going to be waiting a couple more weeks before I put these into the ground. But I want to get them outside and under a porch so that they can get acclimatized to the sunlight and that they are ready to be planted when the time comes. Look at these beautiful peppers right here. These are mixed peppers. My wife really wants color peppers this year, so we're going to be doing those. And I have this one's down here. I'm pretty sure these are Doe Hill peppers. And you see here I have 6 or 7 in one container. So pretty soon I'm going to be starting to split these off into different pots of their own. And I'm going to be putting them into the ground very soon. This one even has a flower already. So this is going to be nice. When they go into the ground, they're going to explode and start producing very soon. You see the flower bud right there? Over here I have some fruit trees, and I'm going to make a separate video about these guys. I bought these from a local nursery, well, from Afton, Virginia. And these are pomegranate trees. 3 pomegranates, 1 hardy orange, and 1 persimmon tree. And I also bought this lemon tree, and I'm trying to grow some lemons this year. This is going to go indoors in the winter, but it's outside right now. The next update I want to give you is the cold weather crops I planted. These are doing pretty good. Some of them died like I thought they would. The squirrels have been digging up some of them, but most of them have survived. I've only had maybe 10% of the plants that didn't make it, so we're doing pretty good here. This is the nursery bed that I started, that I talked to you guys about how to start your seedlings. And over here you can see all these lettuces that I planted in a row. They are almost ready to be dug up and put into the garden. So the weather this spring has been insane, and typically this nursery bed would be much bigger by now. But I planted these a month ago, exactly a month ago, on March 15th. And it got really cold after that, and then it got really hot. So some of these plants are a little stunted, but they are growing nonetheless. And hopefully I'll be able to move a few around and put them into my garden beds, although I'm running out of garden space. I want to show you what my front lawn looks like right now. This is what my front lawn looks like right now. I have a ton of stuff growing, and there's a ton of vegetables already. As you can see here, I have a bed full of chives. I have lavender, splitter potato onions, more lavender, thyme in the back there, a ton of chives, Egyptian walking onions, leeks, oregano down there, and all of those are Egyptian walking onions. I also have this rosemary here that barely made it through the winter, so I'm going to be taking cuttings of this guy this year. This 3 beds up here They're garlic and leeks. So this is garlic that I'll be harvesting in June. And then over here, I planted some of that Napa cabbage plus some leeks. And over here, I have leeks, garlic, and shallots that I'm gonna be harvesting. In this bed, I have some thyme, and I have bok choy, and a little bit of remnants from the winter garden. So I have some kale here, some kale that I need to harvest because it's bolting already, and a little bit more kale down there. Some Swiss chard that needs some harvesting. Next to that, I have my purple sage. I also have a variegated sage right here, and I have lettuce, arugula that's going to seed, and a few leeks back there. On this next bed here, you can see I have a ton of kale that is from the winter, and it's so hot right now that it is looking a little wilted. So I'm gonna be harvesting that in about a month or so, and then replacing it with the tomatoes and peppers. In this bed I have some parsnips, cilantro, and radishes in it, but they have been stunted and they're not growing as much as they usually do, but they're doing well. In this bed I have the collard greens that are overwintering, and they are flowering. I'll let one or two of these plants put the flowers and grow to maturity, but the rest of these, they can be eaten like broccoli. Also over here I have cilantro, beautiful cilantro, and some chives. On this side of the garden I have some Concord seedless grapes, and they are starting to bud out. You can see it right here. This will be a second year here, and it's a grafted variety, so I'm hoping that it will produce some grapes this year. I also have more Egyptian walking onions and a lot of oregano. I started all this oregano from seed last year, and it has propagated really well. And I'm gonna pull up on here right now. You can see it produces a ton of roots, and you can put these in little pots and gift them to friends. This is a thornless blackberry, and I have placed this beautiful trellis on it so it can grow this year. I have a pawpaw tree right here. I actually have several pawpaws on this bed. I have leeks growing right here. This is towards the back of the property here. So I have a little bit more of blackberries here. I have a rhubarb plant, and check it out, there's a little wormy over here. What is it doing? Hide away, butt friend, hide away. I have some collard greens, purple collard greens that I've planted on here. I also have, oh yes, oh my friends, oh yes, this is my Concord grape that I grew for 8 years at my community garden plot, and it is sprouting. I dug it out and I brought it home. When I gave up my garden plots, I dug it out and I was hopeful that it would re-sprout, and I can see a sprout here, so I know it has survived. And this bad boy has been with me for so long, and I'm so happy that it is here. Over here I have the potato beds. I have one bed here, and the other bed there, you saw me planting these, and look at here, the potatoes are coming up. I have several that are showing above the ground here, and those potatoes, now I'm just gonna come in with more compost and cover over. Over here I have a lonely asparagus. Asparagus is looking pretty nice, and look at here, it has a little baby and it's tiny. So I've been growing asparagus for 10 years now, and what I do is at the end of the season they produce this little seed pods, and then I take those little seed pods and put them in the ground and cover them with compost, and then they turn into little asparagus like this. So if you're gardening and you want to save a lot of money, make sure you save your own seeds. This is a pawpaw tree right here. I'm pretty good at sprouting pawpaws. I collect them in the wild, I eat them, and then I save the seeds. And this year they're sprouting again, and you can see the tiny little leaves here. They are beautiful. I plant them in like clumps of 2 or 3. So there's 3 on here, actually 4 I see. And this 2 little pots, I'm trying to sprout some wild persimmon seeds that I got last winter. So hopefully we'll have some persimmon trees. Over here I have a beautiful elderberry. You can see it is doing really well. My friend Raji gave me these at the garden where I used to garden. And then this is surrounded by some beautiful hostas. I ate some hostas this spring, the first time I did. They taste good, but they're not as good as its cousin, the asparagus. So I prefer giving space to asparagus, but they are doing well, so I'm not gonna take them away. I have one more little thing here of pawpaws. Over here we have baby asparagus. Asparagus right here. Have some coneflowers. One more blackberry that is finally sprouting out. Hopefully I'll get some this year. I didn't get any last year. And over here I have some more, you guessed it, pawpaw trees. I love pawpaws. When I found out that this is in the Annona family, and in El Salvador we have these fruits and they're cousins of this one. So once I found out that these grow here naturally, or they're native to our area, I said I must have those. And I am growing a forest of them. I have probably 15 of these plants in my yard. Then I have another elderberry here. I'm hopeful that it will produce more this year. Last year I produced some, but I didn't get to pick any of them. The birds got most of them, but I got bird netting this year and I'm gonna get some of these. This is a Stanley plum tree. This is the 2nd year in the ground, and it was a 2-year seedling when I put it in. So believe it or not, this is a 3-year-old tree, and hopefully this year it puts more growth. This is my blueberry patch. I don't have too many blueberries. I only have 4. Check out this beautiful blueberry blossoms. They are doing really well. And these haven't even broken dormancy yet. I mean, these haven't produced any flower. Oh yeah, actually I see flowers already right over here. Beautiful. So these are also gonna get, I'm gonna build a cage around them so that the birds don't eat my blueberries. Started a new raised bed towards this end here. Last year this was a wood pile and I've moved the wood pile that way and we've been burning through it. So now this year I have some strawberries in here. I have strawberries all down this lane, and I also have peas along the fence, but to be honest I've only seen 1 or 2 of the peas come up, so we might have lost a few of those. This is the back orchard, as I like to call it, and then you open the gate here and you get to the back. This bed right here is about 3 feet wide by about 40 foot long. This one is about 2 foot wide and about 35 foot long. And then that one is just about the same along the fence here. It's about 40 foot long and about 2 foot wide. In this bed, I call it a bed, but it's just my fruit tree line. I have a peach tree. I have a pear tree that has been getting devoured by a little mouse. So now we've installed this little tin foil down here and prevent it from eating the buds here. This one here is an Asian pear. Didn't put out any flowers yet, so I wonder if it will put out any flowers this year. But it's doing really well. I hope from, oh, they are the flowers right here. Beautiful flowers. It's only one branch is putting out flowers. And check this out. Over here I have a gala tree, and it is loaded in flowers. This is doing really well. And one thing that I'm very happy to see is the little bad boy right here. Check it out. Let's have a little, I hope that's what I think it is. It's a ladybug. There is some ants, and these ants are causing issues with this tree. They are, I think they are creating this little aphid problem here. And this aphid problem, I'm gonna be starting to take care of it pretty soon. But I think my ladybug here has come in for the rescue and is gonna help eat those away. Last but not least is my beautiful cherry tree. This is 2 cherry trees in one. This is a Rainier cherry and a Bing cherry. And inside here I have the greenhouse. Let me show you inside the greenhouse. There's not a whole lot in there right now. So this is the greenhouse. It's probably 100 degrees in here right now. It's too hot to be in here. I am planning to put in some tomatoes in here very soon, maybe within the next day or so. So I have it closed up and warming up the ground. It is actually very hot in here. I have some lettuce that is finishing up, some tatsoi that's finishing up. These are collard greens that are flowering, and I'm eating those buds as broccoli. And that's it. That's all that's going on in there. It is too hot and humid to be in there. I want to mention that this long bed is the one that has the compost that I made with the bamboo growth. And look at this compost here. It is kind of thick, but it is rich, and that's what we want. And the other day I went digging in here because I needed some wormies for fishing. So check this out. There's so many worms in this soil. There's so many of them. It is crazy. So this is going to be a great year for growing in this compost. Over in this trellis, I have some hardy kiwi that is starting to bud out this year. There's a male and a female. I'm pretty sure this is the male and this is the female one right here. The female one has been faster at sprouting out. And what do you know? I think I see some flowers in here. So this might be the first year that I get some hardy kiwis. So exciting. And this bed over here, I have a strawberry bed. I transplanted these out yesterday, so they're looking a little sad. It was really hot today, so I got to make sure I water them. And over here I have more strawberries, and over there we have more collard greens and stuff like that. And then I have a very weedy strawberry patch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these strawberries flower and produce fruit this year, and after they're done I'm going to extract all of those and then plant them out into these other beds here. And after that I'm going to cover that with some cardboard and a lot of wood chips and hope for a much better and less weedy garden. I also have 3 compost piles going right now. They're all in different stages. I have one here, I have one in this corner right over there, and then I have that one in there. So that's my 3rd compost bed right there. And you see those little compost bags? Those have some grass in them, and there's kush grass or crabgrass or Bermuda grass, whatever you want to call it. And I don't send that away. I don't send anything away to the landfill because that's wasteful. But they're so invasive that I put them in bags, I kill them, and then once they're dead, I know for sure they're dead, I put them into the compost, and then I'll get my nutrients back because they've been stealing my nutrients from the soil. So don't send anything away to the landfill. Also, don't send away any of your cardboard. Use all your cardboard in your garden. It is free. Well, you already paid for the things that the cardboard brought to you. Use that for compost and put it into your garden beds. Over here I have my fig tree. You can barely see it right now, and I don't see any buds just yet. You can see one tiny little bud there, but it's not really ready to break dormancy yet. This is behind my garage, and it doesn't get a ton of sun into the middle of the day, so it's a little slow at starting. But last year I got about 5 or 6 figs out of here, and I am hopeful this year I'm gonna get more. This is my 2 rain barrel system. Each one of these can hold up to, this one holds 55, and this one probably holds a little less because the hole is right here, so probably 50 gallons. And I have this hose attached to them, and I can water my garden beds. I've been watering this garden beds with them, and they get free rainwater. I also use this rainwater to propagate my root cuttings. It's a little bit better than your municipal water because it doesn't have any chemicals or bleach. This fig tree over here, my friend gave me a couple cuttings last year, and I rooted them, and now it grew this much last year. It grew from here to here, about 18 inches. So I'm hopeful that it will grow even bigger this year. This is the container garden that I showed you guys before and how to do it. I don't remember exactly when I did this. It was probably a month ago, and the weather has been so crazy that the stuff has not sprouted too much and not a lot has grown. This is the lettuce here. These are the chives. This is cilantro over here, and back here you can see the spinach. And wow, I don't think it's ever taken me this long to grow these things, man. It's been a tough year, so it has been a tough year. If you're a new gardener, don't be discouraged. This spring has been a little crazy. So we had that warm up there in the beginning of March. It got really warm and it got me thinking I want to start my plants, and it was March 15th when I was planting everything. Right after I did all that planting, it got really cold and we even had snow come down for a little bit, and that has messed up with the growth period of the plants. But they are doing well now and they're gonna get going pretty quickly here. The only problem with that is that the cool weather crops probably won't have enough time this year to mature, and for me, that's okay because I love the summer vegetables a little bit more than the cool weather crops. And with cool weather crops, don't be afraid, and you have another chance this year, and you can plant again in August or early September, and you can grow those plants again in the fall. So you have another chance. But with summer vegetables, you only get one summer. So if you haven't started your vegetable seeds yet, start your summer crops right now because they need to go out into the ground in about 4 weeks. So get planting and don't get discouraged. Even a 10-year seasoned veteran can have troubles, and it's okay. Gardening is a learning experience, and the best thing is that you can always try next season. I hope you guys enjoy this update. It's a long video, but I hope you guys are enjoying this type of content. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to watch. Comment down below and tell me what you want to see. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for supporting this channel.